This is a 2001 Mazda Protege 1.6 liter. This is my second one. The first one got smashed, so I bought another one the exact same year and same motor. But I made this video to save some people some trouble. The belt can be changed out in a matter of minutes if it's done right. The problem is that the power steering pump, which is here in the front, is it's hard to see underneath it. So I made this video to save some people some trouble because I made a mistake myself. And the serpentine belt is in the back, which goes to the alternator and water pump. And in order to get to that, you have to take off this belt up here in front, which goes to the power steering pump, and I think the air conditioner compressor. But anyway, I'll start back here. If you look at back here at the alternator, see that thing on top? This right here is your tension bolt right here, and that will loosen it and tighten the belt when you're changing the belt. But if you look at that, you see this, there's three right here. In order to change this belt, there's three bolts. One right here, and on the bottom of the alternator. And if you look at that device on top over here to the other belt that goes to the power steering pump, there's something that looks just like that, but it's underneath the power steering pump. So there are three bolts over here, and they are 14s on this car. 14 millimeter. The tools I used was a 14 millimeter and a 12 millimeter socket. And so there are three bolts. You do not take them all the way out. The nuts or bolts. You just, all they need to do is to be loosened, and then you should be able to move it with your hand very easily. If you cannot move it with your hand very easily, there's probably something wrong. But there's this bolt right here on top. It's like a hinge. You have to reach through here, the pulley wheel, to be able to get to it. So if you can turn this with your hand, pull the belt or turn the crank with turn it with your hand, that's fine. If not, you can get inside and just hit the key a little bit until it lines up to where you can reach through there. And it's on here on top. And then we have the tension bolt right here. You can see that. And underneath this wheel, this pulley wheel, is the other one that you have to loosen. So all you have to do is loosen it. Loosen that one, this one on top, and then you have your tension bolt right there. Now there are two other bolts. You can see one right here in the middle. Those are 12 millimeter. Those are what holds the bracket onto the power steering pump. You do not have to mess with this, and there are two of them. So one you have to reach is underneath it, and the only one you have to reach through that pulley is the one on top that acts like sort of like a hinge. So do not, if you have to use a 12 millimeter on this particular car in the front by the power steering pump, then there's something wrong, because all three up here are 14 millimeter. In the back, it's 12 millimeter. And it's pretty simple. Once you loosen those and use your tension bolt, it comes off pretty easy. And back here, it's the same thing. Those two are 12. And on the bottom, I'm not sure, because on this car, the bolt, the nut happens to be missing, which is working out anyway. So when you put the belts on, make sure that they are lined up and inside where they're supposed to be, because if they're off a little bit, it will throw it off when you start. It will throw the belt off when you start the motor. And leave about a 1/4 inch play. You should be able to pull it with your hand, and you don't want it super tight. You want a little bit of play in there. They say about a 1/4 inch. And I hope this video helps out.